Welcome back, everybody, to the Cleveland Guardians franchise here on MLB The Show 22. Today's going to be a pretty fun episode as we're going to start off with the All-Star festivities, and we're going to get through a large chunk of July, going up to around the trade deadline, which will be in the next episode, where we're going to have an opportunity to improve our ball club for the short and or the long term. So we're going to start off with all of the All-Star stuff, and we've got a lot of stuff to go through today. The Futures game, the Home Run Derby, the All-Star game itself, and we're also going to briefly touch up on the minor league All-Star games as well. So as we start off with the Futures game, we're going to get a look at some of the best minor league prospects throughout all of baseball as they get to set foot on a major league field and show off their skills. We've got a few players on the American League team, including our AAA closer, Oinks Quackenbush. And then look at the batting lineup, 1 and 2. Ramon Ramiro and Zane Rowley, our top two draft picks from a season ago. Not only both on the American League roster, not only both starting, but leading off the game next to each other, which is pretty cool as both of those players are major cornerstones for our organization going forward. Plenty of fun players on both sides, filled with real-life prospects, drafted players, subscriber-made international free agents. All of them are represented throughout these three teams, so it should be fun to see them in action as we get to the first portion of All-Star Week, the Futures game here in Seattle. The Mariners are hosting All-Star Weekend this year for the 2023 season. What we're going to do is we're going to simcast most of the game, but we're going to play in any opportunity where we can use our players. Jack Leiter on the mound for the American League team. His day would start off kind of rough, allowing the first two batters to reach base, but he would get a double play and then eventually end the inning. So we go to the bottom half of the inning. Of course, Ramon Ramiro and Zane Rowley are leading off the game. Here is Ramiro hitting it nicely into center field. That'll drop for a base hit. So our second round pick from the state of Iowa a year ago is on the board with a single. That'll bring up Zane Rowley, having a great year, hitting .319, going into the opposite field with a single into left field. So both of our guys open up the game with a pair of base hits. Not too bad against Takahiro Sayaniji. He was an international free agent last year who signed with the Padres organization. And Tristan Casas from the Red Sox, it's a two-run homer, scoring Ramon Ramiro. Zane Rowley was unfortunately out off of a double play, so he did not get to score. Other than that, not a whole lot going offensively as we're going to start to make some pitching changes. I'm going to let all of the starters get an opportunity to pitch first. So this is Asa Lacy from the Kansas City Royals. Even though we don't like the Royals in the series, we're still going to let their players play. Toji Tanahashi, who was an international free agent this year, signed with the Diamondbacks, I believe. He's getting an opportunity here against Ramon Ramiro, who draws a walk. So again, two runners on to start the inning. Nobody out here for Zane Rowley, now hitting from the right side of the plate. Grounds it right over to second, an easy opportunity for a double play. So both of our guys, Ramon Ramiro and Zane Rowley, are out on that one play. Not ideal. Hopefully our team can drive those guys in. It's Josiah McKinley of the Astros. He was an international free agent last year. He grounds out. So it's still 2-0 going into the fourth inning. Ryan Cusick from the Oakland A's is now in as Magnus Syverson starts off with a double, but after that, we would get through the rest of the inning. The National League team only has 2 hits so far. Their offense hasn't been all that great. Our offense has been a little bit better. Both of our guys have a hit. Tristan Casas is playing well. He's 2 for 2, has the only RBIs today as Alex Cisneros checks in. He was just traded to the Oakland Athletics in exchange for catcher Tyler Soderstrom, who ironically is on the National League Futures team for the Marlins. So we're now here at the bottom of the fifth. Ramon Ramiro against Omar Acevedo. Ramiro hits that one high, deep, and gone. 2-run shot for Ramon Ramiro, and the American League team makes it 4-0. Great home run there for Ramon Ramiro, who only has 6 so far this year in Double-A, getting one off of the first-round pick a year ago, Omar Acevedo. So he will score along with Yankees top prospect Anthony Volpe, and so it's now 4-0. That'll bring up Zane Rowley, lines it to first. Nice defense to get the out. So Rowley is out, but Ramon Ramiro with a 2-run homer. Ramiro's reached base on all 3 of his at-bats. He is really playing well. We're going to start to let some of the other substitutions start to enter the game as our position players trickle in and out. Hunter Brown is now on the mound. He allows a run courteous of a sacrifice fly by Aoki. Bottom of the 6th inning now, subbing some guys out. Jose Rosas replaces Tristan Casas. Casas had a great day, 2 for 2 with a 2-run homer. Ryan Pepiot I hope I said his name right. He is on the mound now for the National League team as we continue to get some guys in. A lot of international free agents getting an opportunity to play. Into the 7th inning now. We only have 5 pitchers left. Henry Wise in for the American League team as his day would go pretty easy inning for him. Bottom 7 now. Can we get some more runs going? Our offense hasn't been great today. It's just that the National League offense has been a little bit worse. Jordan Groshon's now up. He singles. So that'll bring up Ramon Romero here with 2 outs. Romero's 2 for 2 with a single, a walk, and a home run. He's doing pretty well. Going to try to make it 3 for 3 as he hits that one high and deep into left field. And the left fielder cannot make the play. It'll bounce over the fence for a double. So Ramon Romero has still reached base on every at-bat. And it looks like Zane Rowley's going to drive both runners in. It's a 2-run single. Jordan Groshans and Ramon Romero will score. So our guys really played well today. 4 of these 6 runs have been driven in by future Cleveland Guardians. The 2-run homer by Ramon Romero, and now the 2-run single by Zane Rowley. I've subbed pretty much everybody else out except for our 2 guys. Since I'm managing this game, I'm allowed to be a little bit more biased towards our players. As we're now on the top of the 8th, Adrian Calaballo kind of struggling a little bit. So we would eventually actually make a pitching change. He'll be replaced by Will Klein, who looks to get out of the inning. He allows a single to Diego Cartaya, and eventually J.J. Blade would be out. So now we go into the bottom of the 8th. None of our guys are going to hit. So now we go into the 9th inning. Oinks Quackenbush is in for the save. Quackenbush has, I think, 26 saves so far this year in AAA as he starts with Jordan Walker of the St. Louis Cardinals. Grounds out to short, fielded cleanly by Toronto's Jordan Groshans for the first out of the inning. Jordan Walker, a first-round pick a couple years ago, has really flown up the St. Louis farm system. That'll bring up Styles Collard. He was an international free agent signed in last year's class by the Philadelphia Phillies, and the shortstop will single that one into left field. So with 1 away, that'll bring up Tyler Soderstrom, who, as I mentioned, was just traded from the A's to the Marlins in exchange for another futures player in starting pitcher Alex Cisneros. He flies out to second, caught by Ramon Romero. Romero's not a very good defensive player, but he's able to make the routine out there. So that'll bring us to Ron Roberson, an international free agent from this year who signed with the Brewers. He flies out to center, caught by Zane Rowley. So it's fitting. The final 2 outs of the game are caught by Ramon Romero and Zane Rowley. And there you go. The American League team wins 6-1. I was able to get everybody on our roster in the game except for starting pitcher Emerson Hancock. So pretty much I let everybody play except for the one guy who plays for the hometown Seattle Mariners, which is kind of funny. It's just that he didn't have a whole lot of stamina, so that's why I didn't have him pitch. But the one guy on the Mariners is the one guy on our team who didn't get to play. So I felt a little bit bad, but at the end of the day, we won the game. Ramon Romero won the Futures Game MVP. Him, Zane Rowley, and Oinks Quackenbush all played really well. So at the end of the day, we had fun, and that's all that matters. So now we would actually get a trade offer from the Yankees. Miles Straw in exchange for Michael King, a talented reliever, and Trey Sweeney, a good shortstop prospect. Value-wise, is actually a really good trade, especially considering Miles Straw's been worse than he was a year ago. I said no, but I want to keep that offer in my back pocket because I actually don't mind it. Now for the home run derby. The number 1 seed is Franmil Reyes, the Franimal, who has 31 home runs this year. He's already matched last year's total. We had Jose Ramirez win the home run derby last year, so it'd be pretty cool if we could get 2 in a row now with the Franimal. Franmil Reyes, the number 1 overall seed as he leads all of baseball in home runs this year. He also leads all of baseball in RBIs as well, which has propelled him to the midseason favorite for the American League MVP award, even though he really doesn't play any defense. So Franmil Reyes is getting his first opportunity here in the home run derby. His matchup is against the 8th-seeded Austin Riley of the Atlanta Braves. He hits 22 home runs in the first round. That's pretty freaking good. 22 is a really hard number to beat. So Franmil Reyes has got his work cut out for him. If he can hit 2 home runs of 440-plus feet, that'd be a big deal. Get that bonus time because he's probably going to need it with 22 being the mark. And there's number 1, 444 feet. I feel like Franmil Reyes is the type of guy who really excel at a home run derby because his raw power might be better than anybody in baseball right now. And he's been arguably the best hitter in baseball since the All-Star break last year. He really struggled in the first half of the season, but since the All-Star break a year ago, he's been fantastic as he hits 442. He has swung at 14 pitches, and they've all been home runs. He looks literally invincible. Every pitch that's been thrown today at him is a home run. That's the first one that hasn't been, and it went off the wall. Franmil Reyes is cooking in the kitchen right now. Austin Riley just has to watch while sweating, but at least it's a quick and painful death for Riley because Franmil Reyes looks unstoppable. There's 21. He still has a minute if you count the bonus time. 22. Now for the win. Bang. 24 pitches thrown, 23 home runs. That was a spectacle put on, ladies and gentlemen, by Franmil Reyes, who looks unbelievable through the first round of the Home Run Derby. So we're going to simulate forward now, as Pete Alonso would beat Austin Meadows, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. would beat Ozzie Albies, and Patrick Wisdom would squeak by Salvador Perez. So the two-seeded Salvador Perez is gone. So our opponent is Pete Alonso. He only hit 16. I was a little bit surprised by that because Pete Alonso is pretty much a professional at the Home Run Derby. He's already won 2, looking for number 3, but Franmil Reyes has something to say about that. Reyes has kind of crashed down to earth already here in this second round, not doing as well as he did in round 1. Right as I say that, he hits a 449-foot tank, his longest home run of the day so far. So he only needs 1 more for that bonus time, but at this pace, he might not need that bonus time. Now he's starting to get hot. That was 7. This is not quite 8, just in front of the wall. Reyes is now slowing down a little bit. That one into straightaway center, 414. He's halfway there. He is well on pace to beat Pete Alonso and advance to the final round. That one goes 444 feet, so he has now officially reached his 30 seconds of bonus time, but he might not need it. He is completely out of energy and not calling that timeout. There's no need to because he is hot. That was 14. This is 15. Is 1 away from the tie. There's 16. If it's fair, it is. Now for the win. See ya. Big Meat Pete is done. 445 feet for Franmil Reyes to advance to the third and final round of the Home Run Derby, where he will face off against either Patrick Wisdom or Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And it's Wisdom who hits 24 home runs. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. only hits 20. I say only with sarcasm. So our opponent here is Patrick Wisdom from the Chicago Cubs. He might be the best raw power hitter in baseball, but he only hit 17 home runs. I think Wisdom has like a 99 power rating against righties and a 98 power rating against lefties. It's just that the rest of his stats, particularly his contact and vision stats, are pretty bad. His vision rating is like a 14, and I'm not exaggerating. It's literally that bad. So 17 is certainly a doable mark to beat, and so far Franmil Reyes is doing a pretty good job. That one goes 441. I was just about to say he's not quite hitting them as far, so maybe he's a little bit tired, but there's your other 440-foot one, as that goes 443. So already has the bonus time, but again, he is not going to need it. With 2.5 minutes to go, he only needs 5 to tie, make it 4. Patrick Wisdom can only just watch and weep. Wisdom did an unbelievable job in the first 2 rounds, eliminating 2-seed Salvador Perez and 3-seed Vladimir Guerrero Jr., but he's got nothing on the Franimal. There's 16, 1 more to tie. Bang, 444 for the win. If it's gone, it might have enough, and it does. 418 feet, but Franimal has done it. For a second straight year, a Cleveland Guardian has won the Home Run Derby. Last year, it was Jose Ramirez. This year, it is Franmil Reyes, the #1 overall seed, takes it home. Shout out to Franmil, who continues his excellent season, and we will see him tomorrow night, or I guess for you guys in about 3 minutes, in the All-Star game in Seattle. So let's take a look at the All-Star rosters because we have plenty of representatives. We were the only American League team who had more than 1 starter lead their position, and we had 3, including Shane Bieber, who will start the All-Star game on the mound. He is joined by Emmanuel Clase in the bullpen, who makes it for a second straight season. And then we had a number of position players make it as well, of course, including third baseman Jose Ramirez, who I thought Rendon should have gotten it over him, but they actually had Anthony Rendon start at second, so it all worked out. Ketel Marte and Franmil Reyes both make it as well. Reyes led all players across baseball in votes. Nobody in the entire league had more votes than Franmil Reyes. In the National League, we've got Victor Caratini, the former Guardian, makes it as the lone representative of the San Francisco Giants. Other than that, nothing super notable, just the usual suspects, guys you would expect. So that brings us to the All-Star game here in Seattle. The Cleveland Guardians with 5 representatives, including 3 starters. They've got Ketel Marte, who I'm a little bit surprised made it, along with Emmanuel Clase as reserves. And of course, starters, we've got Jose Ramirez, Shane Bieber, who is starting the game on the mound. He led all pitchers in votes. And Franmil Reyes, who led all players in votes across Major League Baseball. So the Cleveland Guardians fans did a great job of voting our guys in as we look at the starting lineups for both teams. A lot of good players here. I think that goes without saying. It's an all-star game. Plenty of superstars. I don't know if anybody had more than 5 All-Stars, though. So for us to be represented like that is definitely pretty cool. So we're going to do what we did with the Futures game. We're going to play all the appearances that our guys make. That includes Shane Bieber on the bump here for the first 2 innings of the All-Star game as he faces off against Trey Turner of the Los Angeles Dodgers. And Turner to lead off the game with a bomb in the left. Meadows chases after it, but it's gone, and the National League team strikes first as it's 1-0. Well, that's a start. Trey Turner, whose numbers this year for his standards are honestly kind of disappointing. He's not even hitting .250. Yet he hits a home run to open up the All-Star game. That was fast. That'll bring up Tommy Pham, who grounds out to second. Play is made by Anthony Rendon. I did not manually have Rendon start at second. That was the game who did that, which again, I think is well-deserved. I thought he should have gotten it at third base over Jose Ramirez. I'm happy he didn't, obviously, as that brings up Juan Soto, who singles into center field, fielded by Mike Trout, arguably the most talented hitter in the National League, hitting it to maybe the most talented hitter in the American League, although neither of them have been as good as Franmil Reyes in the past calendar year. Fernando Tatis Jr. goes down looking. Good strikeout there for Bieber, his first. And now it's Bryce Harper of the Phillies. Hits this one into center field. Mike Trout under it. So an interesting start to the 2023 mid-season classic as Trey Turner opens up the game with a solo home run, so it's 1-0. Julio Urias of the Dodgers, the lefty, will be starting. 2.38 ERA. Franmil Reyes bats 6th today. Jose Ramirez bats 7th. So we're going to bat to their appearances as we've got a couple guys in scoring position. Yordan Alvarez would fly out, so it remains 1-0 here into the second inning. Shane Bieber, of course, still on the mound. He's only going to go one more inning as that one is grounded to third. Nice play by Jose Ramirez. Gets it over to Vladdy Jr. for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Cedric Mullins of the San Diego Padres with one away. The number 7 hitter hits it high, and it's caught! What a play by Jose Ramirez to get Cedric Mullins out, although the Cedric Mullins trade last year had a pretty big ripple effect because if the Orioles didn't trade Cedric Mullins to the Padres, we would have never gotten Luis Campusano from Baltimore. He was part of that deal as we look at the Jose Ramirez play once again. I never knew he had bunnies like that. Maybe you should put him on the Cleveland Cavaliers. He can get up there. That'll bring up Ozzie Albies from Atlanta, grounds it to third. So it's a 1-2-3 inning. All 3 plays were made by Jose Ramirez, who's not known for his defense, but he had a few really nice plays there with the glove. He'll be hitting second this inning, only behind Franmil Reyes. Usually Jose Ramirez hits ahead of Franmil Reyes in the lineup, so tonight it's a little bit different. The lefty, Julio Urias, kicks and deals. Reyes will look at the outside fastball. He draws a walk. Even though it's an all-star game, you've still got to get good discipline and approach here at the plate. As that brings up Jose Ramirez, who hits that one up the middle for a base hit. So both of our guys are aboard. Franmil Reyes draws a walk. Jose Ramirez hits a single. Good work for the Cleveland Guardians to get on base. We'll see what the other guys can do as that brings up Salvador Perez. He would strike out. Austin Meadows would fly out. Xander Bogaerts grounds into a fielder's choice. So now to the third inning, we're going to start to get the other pitchers in. Alek Manoah from Toronto is on the mound. He allows a couple of base runners but gets through it. Walker Buehler now on the mound because the Dodgers are just filled with unlimited all-stars. He would get through the inning easily. Jose Barrios now in, also of the Toronto Blue Jays. He gets through the inning. Both offenses are kind of struggling right now. Hopefully we can change that here against Aaron Nola, who signed a big deal with the St. Louis Cardinals in the offseason, as he faces off against Franmil Reyes, who lines it to first. Nice play by Pete Alonso. I guess Alonso's trying to get some revenge after Reyes beat him in the home run derby. That'll bring up Jose Ramirez. Got a base hit in his first at-bat, looking for another one. Ramirez hits that one high and deep, and a straightaway center field. Back at the track at the wall is Acuna, and it's gone. Solo home run for Jose Ramirez in the American League is on the board. Ramirez hit 22 home runs in the first half of the season. Now he gets one here in the All-Star break off of Aaron Nola, and this game is tied at 1. Big swing for J-Ram. So now we move into the 5th inning with a tie game. Luis Severino is on the mound. Good to see him in the All-Star game after the first part of his career got hammered by injuries as we get a solo home run off the bat of Austin Meadows. So it's now a 2-1 ball game. And now we're going to get the substitutions in the game now that we are in our third way through the lineup. Corey Seager, Kike Hernandez getting some at-bats. Mike Trout is going to be replaced by Ketel Marte. I thought about putting in Jock Peterson, but I was like, why not get our guy in the game? So Ketel Marte gets his first at-bat of the game. He'll play center field for the rest of this one as he grounds it to third. Good effort there at the hot corner, but to no avail. It'll be an infield single for Ketel Marte. We'll see if Vladimir Guerrero Jr. can drive him in with 2 outs. He hits a single. That'll bring up Yordan Alvarez, draws a walk. So now the bases are loaded for Franmil Reyes. He's got an opportunity for a salami. 1-2 pitch on its way from Burns. Reyes hits it high and deep and a right, and it curves foul. Oh, that would have been awesome. A grand slam in the All-Star game for Franmil Reyes. Following pitch on its way, and Reyes strikes out on the curveball. So the American League team leaves the bases loaded, courteous of a strikeout from Franmil Reyes. Still a nice 2-out rally, getting 3 consecutive hits. So now we move into the 6th inning. Lance Lynn on the mound for Chicago. He would get through the order with ease. In the bottom half of the inning, Jose Ramirez is up, facing off against Jacob deGrom, maybe the best hitter or the best pitcher in baseball. He gets Ramirez to go down looking on the full count. Maybe you should swing at that pitch in the All-Star game, but Ramirez wanted to draw the walk. It's not going to happen, so he is out. Now we're getting some more subs in. Corey Lee in his first All-Star game, he is out. Giancarlo Stanton in for Meadows, he is also out. So now we move to the 7th. It's a 2-1 ball game in favor of the American League. Now all the starters are done, so we're going to start to get some relievers in as Garrett Whitlock allows a home run against Chris Bryant. Cedric Mullins and Ozzie Albies draw walks, so I'm like, enough of this. We're going to pull Whitlock, replace him with Raisel Iglesias as he faces off against Victor Caratini, who's apparently playing third base for whatever reason, and he would ground into a double play. Good job for Raisel Iglesias to get out of the jam, keep the game tied at 2 as we're going to get some more subs in. Jake Cronenworth, who was also in that Cedric Mullins deal. It was Cedric Mullins for Jake Cronenworth and Luis Campusano. Mullins and Cronenworth are all-stars, and Luis Campusano will be an all-star with us hopefully pretty soon. Jock Peterson strikes out, so that'll bring us to Ketel Marte as he faces off against Giovanni Gallegos of the St. Louis Cardinals. 1-1 pitch on its way. Marte into the opposite field. So Ketel Marte, 2 for 2 with a pair of singles, I think both into left field. It's a homecoming for Marte, who started his career here in Seattle. The runner advancing to third, I think that was Kike Hernandez, is gunned down. The tag made by Victor Caratini. I don't know why he's still playing at third. Spencer Torkelson will be out, so now we go into the 8th inning. Not a whole lot of pitchers left, only 5 relievers still available, including Ryan Presley. He faces off against Reese Huskins, who grounds out. Joey Wendell pops up. Nico Horner of the Cubs hits a single, so that brings up a big opportunity for the first-time All-Star Henry Davis, who hits a double. So now Chris Bryant is up. I'm not sure if they're going to make a substitution or not. He had the home run earlier. We put Nick Anderson in the game, and indeed, Matt Olson is up, and he grounds out. So we go into the bottom of the 8th. We've only got a couple more offensive substitutions left. Nathaniel Lowe of the Rangers is in against Aroldis Chapman, and it's a ground out. So with 1 away, we've got our next 2 guys, Franmil Reyes and Jose Ramirez up, looking to save the All-Star game. That starts with Reyes, who hits it high and deep into center field. Go ball, go! It's gone! Solo home run for the Franimal, Franmil Reyes, who hit 31 to start the year. He had a whole lot last night at the Home Run Derby, and now he has one here in the All-Star game. So Franmil Reyes puts the AL ahead 3-2. Big swing there for the Franimal, high-fiving his Cleveland teammate, Jose Ramirez, who's now up, hitting from the right side of the plate. He grounds it over to short, fielded cleanly for the second out of the inning. So Franmil Reyes hits a big home run to put the AL ahead 3-2. We'll see if we can hold on to the lead. Luis Torrens is in, the hometown guy representing Seattle. He is out. So now the 9th inning, Emmanuel Clase is in for the save as he faces off against Cedric Mullins, who opens up the inning with a single. I think Mullins has played the entire game, which is interesting because the National League has had a few substitutions at multiple positions, but not Mullins. He's played the entire way. I think Ozzie Albies has also played the entire game. He pops out to third, fielded cleanly by Jose Ramirez for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Tyler Stevenson, who's also played the entire game. Grounds to short. Turner to Marte over to first. Ball game. The American League wins the All-Star game 3-2, featuring a pair of solo home runs by Jose Ramirez and Franmil Reyes. Emmanuel Clase as well gets the save. Jose Ramirez ends up winning the All-Star Game MVP. So we had the Futures Game MVP with Ramon Ramiro, the Home Run Derby champ with Franmil Reyes, and the All-Star Game MVP with Jose Ramirez. Ketel Marte was also very good. He went 2 for 2. Shane Bieber was the only guy who was a little bit disappointing. 2 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, the solo home run by Trey Turner. So that's about as exciting of an All-Star break as you can get for one team. Let's take a brief look at the minor league All-Star rosters as well. This is the AA roster. We've got Daniel Espino on the team. Good to see him continuing to progress, now a 70 overall. probably only a year or two away from being a major league caliber starter. Not a whole ton of position players. We do get our first baseman, Brandon Bozier. Ramon Ramiro is there as well, joined by Orioles franchise legend, Shed Lawn. Moving forward, nobody else in the infield. We would get Zane Rowley and Escobar Nakata de Lima in the outfield, so I'm pretty sure that's a total of 4 guys who made it on the Double-A team. For the Triple-A squad, we've got Joan Adon, joined by Orioles franchise legend Amir Garrett. He's the only pitcher, and as for position players, I believe we ended with nobody, which I guess didn't really surprise me. Maybe Will Benson should have gotten a look. Benson's had a really good year, but there were a whole lot of really good right fielders for AAA, so I get it. So now we go into the second half of the season. We're 57-41. We currently lead the division, but not by much, and we're in an interesting spot because we have a lot of options we could do for trade deadline. With the major leagues being really even more competitive than ever this year, maybe we're in a spot where we just religiously buy and try to make a World Series push this year. Another option could be a mixture of buying and selling, sort of what we did last year to try to make our team better in the short term and the long term. The third option is just sell. And I know that sounds stupid because we're like 15 games over 500. We're running our division. But if you think about it, some guys are more valuable now than ever. Jose Ramirez is a free agent at the end of the year. He's more valuable now than he will ever be. Same with Ahmed Rosario, Josh Bell, who's on a team option. And then looking at next year, Shane Bieber. You know how much we could get for him? A ton. Franmil Reyes as well as a free agent after next year. His value will probably never be higher than this. So we've got a lot of options that we could do regarding the deadline. I want to hear what you guys think we should do down below in the comments. Should we buy, focus on this year, so we sell and build up a loaded farm system for the future? Or should we do a little bit of both? I wanted to play against the Dodgers, so we simulate the series against our hated rivals, the Royals, and we get swept. That's not good. We're now only 1.5 games ahead of the White Sox, who also swept their first opponent. So the Royals and White Sox start off 3-0. We start 0-3. We play the Royals again right after the trade deadline. So the reason why we didn't play the Royals today is because we're going to play against them the next episode. Believe me, every chance I can get to play Kansas City, I will after the last time we faced off against each other. But I wanted to play against the Dodgers because they are the best team in baseball. Julio Urias is on the mound. He started in the All-Star game, so I figured that'd be fun as we have the ceremonial first pitch. And damn, that's right down the middle. Steve Reich. We got to offer her a contract in the organization. She can probably pitch better than some of our relievers. So here's a look at both lineups, a star-studded group for the Dodgers. As for us, we're looking for our first win here post-All-Star break as we started off 0-3. It'll be Cal Quantrill on the mound. He's had a solid year. Nothing spectacular, but he's been very good for a middle-of-the-rotation guy, as with 2 away, Freddie Freeman pops up into shallow right, fielded cleanly by Andres Jimenez for the third and final out of the inning. So a 1-2-3 start for Cal Quantrill. Not too bad. Here's Julio Urias, his first appearance since the All-Star game in which he pitched 2 scoreless innings. Looking to pitch well again here with his 2.38 ERA as he starts with Ahmed Rosario. With him being a free agent at the end of the year and a lot of shortstops in the organization, could he be a player we move at the deadline as he draws a walk? Rosario, of course, is very good against lefties for what it's worth. You know who else is? Ketel Marte, although since he is locked up, he's probably more safe than anybody in the entire organization. He goes down looking. Nice pitch by Urias. That'll bring up Jose Ramirez, an impending free agent in the offseason. What do we do with him? He grounds to the third. The Dodgers looking for the double play, and they get it. 5-4-3. Good work by the infield. Through 1, no score. We move to the second. Cody Bellinger draws a walk, probably stoned out of his mind like he always is. So Bellinger's aboard for J.D. Martinez, grounds it up the middle. Jimenez tags the base, throws it to first. That'll be a 4-3 double play. Good work by Jimenez and Bell. Speaking of Bell, he's up here in the bottom of the second, drawing a walk. Josh Bell, his discipline this year has been unbelievably good. He's quietly having a phenomenal season. He has an OPS above 900, which is elite. He is a team option at the end of the year. I don't think he's going to accept it with how well he is playing. So, who knows? Maybe we move him at the deadline as well. Luis Campusano singles into center. Ever since we got Campusano from the Orioles, he's been really good. I know it's a very short sample size. It's only been like 10 games, but he's been fantastic. George Valera has also been fantastic. He nearly grounds into a double play, but instead everybody's safe. It's an E6 against Trey Turner. So now the bases are loaded. A big opportunity here for Jalen Davis getting the start today instead of Miles Straw, who gets the day off. And Davis rips it off the wall. 1 run scores. A second run looking to join him. That's Campusano. The throw from the third baseman is offline, and the catcher cannot tag him. So it's a 2-run double for Jalen Davis, and the Guardians are ahead 2-0. That'll bring up Ahmed Rosario now. 3-1 count. He drew a walk in his first at-bat. Draws another walk here, so the bases are loaded. A huge opportunity for Ketel Marte to break this game open. And he draws a walk, which will drive in a run. So now it's 3-0. Julio Urias' control just looks horrible right now. He does not look like an all-star pitcher as he faces off against Jose Ramirez, the all-star game MVP. Rips it into center field. That'll drop for a base hit. 2 more runs come home to score. It's an RBI double for Jose Ramirez, and the Cleveland Guardians now lead 5-0. And from there, Julio Urias will be taken out of the game. After throwing 2 scoreless innings in the All-Star game, his first appearance after the All-Star game, he doesn't even make it through 2 innings and will be replaced by the long reliever Jimmy Nelson, who is a 3-flat ERA. He's been quite good this year for the Dodgers. He faces off against Franmil Reyes, who led off the inning, and he will end the inning, lining out to second. So our best hitter, Franmil Reyes, was out twice in that inning. Everybody else reached base except for, I think, our 9th hitter, Andres Gimenez. Everybody else got on, which is wild. So Cleveland now leads 5-0 with just 3 base hits, which is odd, but okay. Gavin Lux opens up the top of the third with a single. Maybe this is where the Dodgers try to get themselves quickly back in the game. The catcher, Cam Gallagher, getting a start for Will Smith, who I believe is currently injured. Singles into left field. So Gallagher is aboard. The first 2 guys are on for the leadoff hitter, Trey Turner. Looks like a double play, and it will be. Good job. 3-6-1. Bell to Rosario to Cal Quantrill. Now we move to the bottom of the third. Still 5-0. It's Josh Bell. He draws his second walk of the game. How many walks are we going to get? I mean, for Christ's sakes, throw the ball in the strike zone. There's another walk. This time, George Valera. If you guys aren't going to throw strikes, we're not going to swing. We can score runs by just drawing walks. 2 away for Andres Gimenez. He's going to line out to left. So, unfortunately, we don't get any more runs to score there. Caught by the former Cleveland ball player, Michael Brantley. Into the 4th inning, Freddie Freeman leads it off, and that one goes over the glove of Jalen Davis. Looks like it'll be a double for Freddie Freeman. Throw from Davis is kind of offline, but Freeman's going to hold up at second. So the Dodgers open up the inning with a runner in scoring position. Doesn't really matter where he was on the bases because Cody Bellinger's going to drive him in regardless. A belly bomb into right field, and the Dodgers bring you within 3, rocking their all-blue City Connect jerseys. I'm the big fan of the Dodger blue. I have a bias. Blue's my favorite color, but I think these jerseys are fire. So Bellinger makes it 5-2. The Dodgers are getting off to a great start in the 4th inning as the next 2 guys would reach base, including a single there from Chris Taylor. So now there's 2 runners on here. Nobody out for Edwin Rios, who grounds it to the pitcher. Quantrill gets the out at third. Ramirez to first. It's a double play. A 1-5-3 double play. You don't see that on the scorecard very often, but there you go. A lot of double plays today. Then Lux lines it to third. Jose Ramirez has had some really good defensive plays throughout the episode. So the Dodgers somehow only scored 2 in that inning, and we move to the bottom of the 5th. Still 5-2 as Luis Campusano hits that one high, deep, and gone. Campusano with his 3rd home run of the season. As I was saying earlier, I know it's a small sample size, but Luis Campusano has been excellent so far for us, and we believe he can be a huge piece in the middle of our lineup going forward. But I didn't expect him to be this good this quick. I think he'll come back down to earth at some point, but he has been unbelievable. Chris Taylor strikes out. Cal Quantrill really pitching well as he faces off against Edwin Rios, who hits that one high and deep into right center field. That one is gone, and the Dodgers bring it within 3. So Edwin Rios will make it a 6-3 ball game. The Dodgers are trying to hang in there. They have well more base hits than Cleveland, but Cleveland is still up by a lot. Gavin Lux goes down looking, so that'll end Cal Quantrill's day. 6 innings, 3 earned runs. Not his best start, but still quite productive. As for the Dodgers, they will bring in Brusdar Graterol, another player we know very well from our Orioles franchise last year. Graterol was very good in that Baltimore bullpen as he strikes out Miles Straw, who checks into the game, replacing Andres Gimenez. Jose Alvarez, the former Giant, is in here in the top of the 7th. He knows this Dodger team fairly well, and said Dodger team will start off pretty well. It's a single for Cam Gallagher. That's about as well hit of a single as you're ever going to see, but it is a single nonetheless, mainly because he only has 10 speed. Michael Brantley grounds it to second. 4-6-3 double play. Miles Straw is still in the game at second. By the way, he does have some infield experience, so that's why we're keeping him there for now. Bottom 7, Ketel Marte leads the inning off. He's going to line it into right field for a single. So Marte, who's hitting right around 300 on the season, he is aboard to lead the inning off. That'll bring up J-Ram. Jose Ramirez for 1-2. Grounds it to first. Dodgers looking for the double play, and they are going to get it. It is a 3-6-3 double play. Freeman to Turner, back to Freeman. We move to the 8th. James Karinchak in for Cleveland. He has quietly been fantastic this year. The sub-2 ERA. He has been significantly better than he was a year ago. Striking out Cody Bellinger, making him go fishing on the two-seam way outside fastball. JD Martinez will join him in strikeout land. So 1-2-3 inning for Karinchak, who retires the side. Cleveland appears to be in control as we hit the home stretch. Reyes Murata is in for the Dodgers. He faces off against George Valera. For the first time in a while, Valera's batting average is under 300, so he will quickly change that with a solo home run. Valera with his 8th home run of the season. I thought by now he would come back down to earth, but he really hasn't. George Valera still playing out of his mind since he made his debut last month. It's not really a traditional save situation anymore since we lead by 4, but Emmanuel Clase was the only pitcher we had loose, so we're going to put him in the game as Chris Taylor opens up the inning with what looks like an extra base hit. Rounding first, headed to second. A quick double for Taylor, so the Dodgers are not messing around. They're not going to quit. LA still has some groundwork to do, but they have hit the ball for strong contact today. Clase will get Edwin Rios to strike out in the 99-mile-an-hour fastball. That'll bring up Gavin Lux. He will single it into right field. Taylor's going to hold up at third. He doesn't want to mess with the arm of Franmil Reyes. Reyes does not have a pretty good arm, but that was probably a good decision by Taylor to hold up. And he will score anyways. Cam Gallagher, who is now 4 for 4, singles into right. Reyes misplays the ball. Also, throw is way off. So now the Dodgers have runners on the corners. The tying run is up at the plate. It's the top of the order. Starting with Trey Turner, who's 0 for 4, going to possibly be 0 for 5. This double play could end it. No double play. Turner is safe at first, so it's now 5-7 as the runner will score. Michael Brantley now the tying run. He singles it into right. The Dodgers are really doing some damage off of Emmanuel Clase. This is very uncharacteristic for Clase, who normally is shut down 1-2-3. Freddie Freeman now. Grounded to second. Straw to end the game. Nope! Throw is offline, so the game stays alive for a little bit longer. Bases are now loaded. Single probably drives in 2. It's down to Cody Bellinger, who homered earlier. Flies it high into left field. Josh Naylor, who recently checked into the game, is after it. And the Cleveland Guardians win it 5-7, your final. This game was a little bit closer than it needed to be there at the end, but any chance you can get to beat the Dodgers, you're not going to complain. The offenses for both teams were very different. The Dodgers hit the ball a lot better than us. They had 15 hits, including Cam Gallagher going 4 for 4 out of nowhere. We only had 6 hits, but our offense did better in certain situations. We scored 5 runs there in the second inning. We had a couple home runs late from Campusano and Valera, and our pitching was solid. Cal Quantrill was pretty good. The bullpen, minus Emmanuel Clase, was really, really strong. So we are now 58-44. We're going to simulate the rest of this Dodgers series, getting ready for a 4-game set in Tampa Bay. We lost both games, so to start the second half of the year, we are 1-5. And to make matters worse, we are no longer in first place. The White Sox, who have now won 6 in a row, are half a game ahead of us. The Royals are right behind us, too. We are currently tied with Toronto for the second wildcard spot. So I think the trade deadline really could not have come at a better time because we are currently ice cold. We've got to play better, and that's going to start with the trade deadline where we're going to have a big opportunity to shake some things up in the next episode. We're also going to play a game against the Royals. We've got a couple series against the White Sox coming up, which is important because they're half the game ahead of us. So we are really headed for a few very important episodes coming up. This next month or so is going to be really pivotal, and that starts with being smart at the trade deadline. We want to make our team better for the short term, but we also want to keep an eye on the big picture as well. So we've got some tough decisions we're going to have to make. I hope everybody enjoyed the video. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you're new. Peace out.